Hello YouTube and welcome to George Vlogs. It's so good and amazing to have you right here. So today I'll be sharing with you 5 experiences I think living in a Chinese village makes a whole lot difference compared to living in the cities in China where I've been living for quite some time now. Let's say I've been in China for like 3 years now, I think. Oh yes, of course. Wow. Time flies. Anyway, in case you're meeting me for the first time, my name is George. I live here and work in China, and most of the times I get to share with you my life as a person, as I also get to share life of foreigners, especially black Africans in China. I know we have, like, when we talk about black people, we have like the black Americans, black this, black that, okay, but I focus on my idea as a black African from the African continent, okay. So maybe it might be a whole lot different from those who are black but are from the US or maybe other Western countries. So right now we are taking a walk down to the place, and I have here with me my colleagues right here. So the place is quite ahead in front. Whoa, it's just so fun being right here on George Vlog. So let's get started immediately after this quick intro. Living in the cities in China here has been really interesting. I've lived in Shenyang City, Liaoning, lived in Hangzhou City, I've been to Beijing, a couple of other cities right here in China, and I get to see the difference between living in the city and living in the countryside, or would I say the village, okay? So how did I get to the village? Some of you have heard this story before. So it was before COVID actually started. I hope YouTube wouldn't block me for using the word COVID. Before COVID actually started here, it was during around like the festive period. So my friend was like, "Oh, I'm going to the village for the New Year, festival. You know, Guanyan is always very important here in China that Chinese people get to celebrate it with their families." Not as if his parents are staying in the village though. They all stay in the cities too, but when it's time for New Year like this, everyone comes back home. I think it's the same thing also with Africa. We all stay in the city with my parents, but when it's time for like the New Year or Christmas, we all go back to our village where we get to meet every other person that is living in the cities. He invited me to come along with him. I was like, okay, are you sure? I even had to ask him, "Hey bro, I'm a black man.
Really, nigga?
You taking me to the village? Are you sure you want to handle this?
Seriously, what the f are you doing?"
He was like, "Oh, come on, they will be so happy to have you." I was like, "Wow, are you serious?" Anyway, let's go. It was when we got to the village that it was announced and there was a lockdown almost in every city. So even the video you're seeing playing right now on your screen, we even had to have our own lockdown there in the village, in the sense that we had to put barricades so that people that were coming into the village, if you were not known to be from that village or something, you were not going to be allowed to come in. And there were restrictions for you going out, how far you can go and all, because every community started to protect themselves, started to put things together for themselves, and started maintaining, COVID rules and not letting things, people that may have been exposed to coming and all that. So we all became our own watchmen in the village. Okay, so right now I'm about to start eating, and I'm going to enjoy myself. So first of all, this is beer. The beer culture here is super amazing. So all my family. And that was actually a good experience for me to have, living among with them. So one of the first thing I observe is, like, living in the cities, I get seen more of as a stranger everywhere, because come on, of course the city is full of different people. So when you're walking on the street, people will not just randomly say hi or hello to you. But when I was in the village where it was like everyone knew everyone, the interesting thing I found was that I never felt like a stranger. In fact, let's say I was a stranger, but to them I wasn't like a stranger, because me coming there, just him taking a picture with me and putting on his moment, everyone in the village knew I was around. Like, people literally used to come almost every day to their house just to see me and have a conversation with me or talk with me. And if you're a foreigner and you can speak Chinese and you are in such an environment, you're like a celebrity. Like,
Okay.
Okay.
And now watch me put it in my mouth. It's okay.
It's okay.
so when I went with them, I was like, because I heard a lot of stories, like, before I came to China, they were saying like, oh, Asians used to eat black people, blah 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 blah. But for me as a person, I'm someone that is very experiential in nature. I don't just follow or work with people based on the fact that I heard something about them or whatever. I like to experience people so that I have first-hand knowledge of what I think about this person or this group of people. So most of the time living here in China, I like to experience people. I like to experience the culture. I like to move with the people and know their mindset. If this person is behaving this way, I know, okay, this is how this person behaves. But if I see 2, 3, 4 people behaving the exact same way, I'm like, okay, maybe Chinese people are all like this. The village right there, everyone just sees you and they're like, hey, why go Rain? Hey Rain, where's your money, Jama? Hey, they come and talk with me and they're like, wow, that is super amazing. I feel like, I'm already belonging in this community. So that was just one. The next one is that the houses in the cities are usually tall buildings, like sometimes skyscrapers, sometimes 7 stories, 8 stories building, 9-story buildings. But when I was in the village, I was like, immediately we got there, I didn't see tall buildings anymore. We saw tall buildings when we were entering. Okay, we got to see like some party buildings and all. But when we get to the deep side of where the people really lived, no tall buildings. I could just see, I could see the air. I could see the sky, how beautiful the sky is. I could see the mountains. The view was just so amazing. And all I was just thinking to myself was that this is just like me living back home in Africa. The difference between right here in China and maybe where I come from in Africa is that we don't really have like skyscrapers like that a lot, which you get to see in the big cities. But when you come into the other deeper states, like I come from Nigeria, when you go there, you see people build their own structures, either a bungalow, a duplex or something. But here, almost all of the houses I saw in the village here were just uniform compared to the city where I get to see, like right now I'm living on the 7th floor. There, everybody is just on the first floor. So it was so amazing for me to have that experience of living in the first floor again. No one is living above me. It was so interesting.